On October 26th this year, Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe was overthrown. The president appointed a new man in office, Mahinda Rajapaksa. Today, 48 days later, Mr. Wickremesinghe is having the last laugh. Sri Lanka's Supreme Court has ruled against President Sirisena. The court has declared that the country's parliament cannot be dissolved. The verdict means that President Sirisena has to reconvene parliament, and Ranil Wickremesinghe has to be back as Prime Minister, at least for now. The court ruled that President Sirisena's decision to call for snap elections was illegal and has overturned that decision. The sacking of Prime Minister Wickremesinghe stands null and void. He's back in office. It was a unanimous decision by the 7 judges on the bench. Just to put this in perspective, here's what's been happening in that country in the last 2 months. On the 26th of October, it all began with President Sirisena's party ending ties with Prime Minister Wickremesinghe's party. The very same day, the president appointed Mahinda Rajapaksa as the Prime Minister. On 9th November, about 10 days later, 15 days later, the president dissolved parliament and called for snap polls. 3 days later, on the 12th of November, the country's top court stayed the order on dissolution of parliament. On the 14th of November, the parliament passed a no-confidence motion against the president appointed Prime Minister, that's Mr. Rajapaksa. The case went back to the judiciary. The court banned Rajapaksa from functioning as the Prime Minister, and today the court's verdict came as a big blow to the president. His move to call snap elections has been deemed illegal. Ranil Wickremesinghe took to Twitter minutes after the verdict. He said, and I quote, "We trust that the president will promptly respect the judgment of the courts. The legislature, judiciary and the executive are equally important pillars of a democracy, and the checks and balances that they provide are crucial to ensuring the sovereignty of its citizens." Mahinda Rajapaksa has lost 2 trust votes in parliament over the last 1 month, and now this verdict comes as another setback. Rajapaksa's son and member of parliament in Sri Lanka also tweeted, and I'm quoting again, "We respect the decision of Lanka's Supreme Court. Despite the fact that we have reservations regarding its interpretation, we will continue to stand alongside those calling for a parliamentary election without which there is no real justice for the people of Lanka." Riding high on this victory, Ranil Wickremesinghe's party, the UNP, is now mulling options to impeach President Maithripala Sirisena. Now, where Theresa May survived a major challenge to her prime ministership last night, a vote of no confidence was triggered by 48 MPs from the Conservative Party. May was facing a rebellion from within. All Conservative MPs gathered to cast their votes through a secret ballot. Theresa May received 200 votes in favour of her leadership. Another 117 MPs wanted her to leave.
The result of the ballot held this evening is that the parliamentary party does have confidence.
But reports say there was a behind-the-scenes compromise. Just before the vote, Theresa May promised her party that she will step down ahead of the next election. A new leader will lead the Conservative Party into the 2022 election. For the moment, her position is stable. According to rules, her party cannot challenge her leadership for at least 1 year.
This has been a long and challenging day, but at the end of it, I'm pleased to have received the backing of my colleagues in tonight's ballot. Whilst I'm grateful for that support, a significant number of colleagues did cast a vote against me, and I've listened to what they said.
May was quick to move to the task at hand, that's Brexit. Unfortunately for her, there is no good news on that front. The British Prime Minister made her way to Brussels for a European Union summit today. After delaying a vote on the Brexit deal earlier this week, Theresa May is looking for more concessions in Europe. The trip to Brussels is an opportunity for the Prime Minister to outline the problems she's facing back home. The Brexit deal has left the British Parliament deeply divided, specifically on the issue of the status of Northern Ireland after the UK leaves the European Union. So far, the EU has refused to renegotiate. Experts believe that May will try to get the language tweaked, but there are no easy options here and time is running out. The deadline for Brexit, that is set for March next year, is looming. But it seems like the people of the UK are now fed up with the political war over Brexit.
It's really disappointing she survived the vote, but hopefully they can get behind her now and deliver a decent Brexit, because up to now it's just been total chaos.
Don't really have confidence in much to do with politics at the moment, unfortunately. I'm trying to. I think
it's a complete irrelevant distraction to the whole Brexit thing. Hopefully, I don't know, no one knows what's going to happen. But yeah, hopefully a second referendum.
A long list of embattled heads of state tonight. The next is Donald Trump of the US, and here's what's happened. His fixer has been fixed. Lawyer, loyalist, and now a convicted man. Michael Cohen once said that he would take the bullet for. The question now is, will Cohen's conviction spell the beginning of the end for Donald Trump?
Crimes committed out of blind loyalty are still crimes. Michael Cohen is the latest to find out that bitter truth. Cohen was handed a 36-month prison sentence for his dirty deeds by a New York court. But what are these dirty deeds? Cohen admitted to paying $130,000 to porn star Stormy Daniels and $150,000 to former Playboy model Karen McDougal on the eve of 2016 presidential elections. This is in violation of campaign finance laws. According to the law, the threshold for individual donations is only $2,700, that too with full disclosure. Cohen's other dirty deeds: offences related to Mueller's probe into Russian interference on US elections, lying to the Congress, tax evasion and bank fraud. Cohen told the court that he felt it was his duty to cover up Trump's dirty deeds. In an emotional apology, he owned up to his mistakes. But the judge wasn't buying any of it. He did not spare him jail time for his cooperation into investigations on Donald Trump. Cohen will have to forfeit $500,000 and pay restitution of nearly $1.4 million. Now, why should this development worry Trump?
Mr. President, did Michael Cohen cover up your dirty deeds? What dirty deeds is he talking about, Mr. President?
Cohen's attorney, Guy Petrillo, told the court that his client is standing up to the most powerful person in the United States. But his plea for leniency was mocked by the attorney for adult film star Stormy Daniels.
Michael Cohen is neither a hero nor a patriot. He lied for months on end about his criminal conduct and the role of the President of the United States.
Will this eventually mean bad news for Trump?
Michael Cohen was sentenced today. Donald Trump is next. Thank you.
The United States president believes there will be a revolt if he is impeached. Democrats think the offences alleged against Trump are impeachable offences. They have the majority in the House, so at least the calls for impeachment could get louder and Democrats could build a narrative against Donald Trump. Several lawyers say that Cohen's arrest means that Trump's goose is cooked. The US president may have ignored the reporters for now, but how long can he ignore these questions? Bureau Report, World is One.
The Chinese have found an extraordinary solution to processing the urban food waste. Their answer is cockroach farms that have turned into a booming industry in China. You have to see it to believe it.
A Chinese waste composting firm is using cockroaches to tackle food waste. On the outskirts of Jinan in China's eastern Shandong province, 1 billion cockroaches are made to consume 50 tons of kitchen waste daily. The amount is equal to the weight of 7 adult elephants. Cockroach farming is indeed a unique way to address the growing food waste problem in urban areas and has become a booming industry now. As Chinese cities expand, they generate more food waste than they can accommodate in landfills. and cockroaches have provided an alternative to get rid of mountains of food scraps. Recently, due to the African swine flu outbreak, a ban has been imposed on using food waste as pig feed, and this has only been a boost for kitchen waste consuming cockroaches. The number of workers in the industry in Shandong are now in the hundreds and are rapidly growing.
Firstly, the cockroaches can dispose the kitchen waste so quickly because this is a special thing about the cockroaches' eating habit. For example, a cell that's filled by kitchen waste can be eaten up in 2 hours. Secondly, they can consume the kitchen waste as a resource quickly and transfer themselves into the food cycle, and then produce high-quality protein feed. It is the same as turning the trash into resources.
In a remote village in southwestern Sichuan province, a 47-year-old villager got a similar idea and he invested 1 million yuan for his cockroach farm.
People feel strange that I do this kind of business. They asked why I quit the business I was good at and started doing this. But I think that this has great benefits and will contribute to the society. And it has great economic value as well. And my purpose is to lead other villagers towards prosperity if they are willing to follow me.
Another company in Sichuan is rearing 6 billion cockroaches used as raw material for traditional Chinese medicine. The manager of the facility claims that the essence of cockroaches can cure oral and peptic ulcers, skin wounds and even stomach cancer. Bureau Report, Wion, World is One.